born here, or the choice I made to be here instead of with you. And I don't know if I'm asking a question
We
clearly
understand
enough,
exactly what you're asking, but this is one of the things that you decided would give you an interesting new perspective of your total being. It doesn't mean that there aren't other aspects of you experiencing other things, even things similar to what we are experiencing. Nevertheless, this aspect of your total consciousness is experiencing this because you believe that this is important for you as a total being to experience, to add another perspective of discovery to your total being.
I'll take that.
Does that help?
Yes.
All right.
It does. Thank you.
Anything else?
That's it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. It's been an honor. Thank you.
Before the next person speaks, let me complete this idea. It's similar to the notion that you have a hand and the hand has 5 fingers. Well, all right, 4 and a thumb if you wish. The idea is you have created something that has all the 5 fingers at once because each finger is a different experience, even though they all trace back to the same hand. Therefore, a hand is not really a hand without all the fingers, and the fingers won't function without the hand. So one finger experiences one thing, another finger experiences something else, and that and the totality of all those fingers then makes up the experience of the hand.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I'm very pleased to be here with you today.
We are pleased as well.
Thank you. I had so many different questions to ask for you today, and so many got answered throughout the conversation, so thank you.
Yes.
The first thank you. The first question I would like to ask, though, is what kind of holds our whole universe together? My initial response would be love, but I guess I'm looking for some validation.
All right. Well, your people translate the vibrational frequency of existence itself. The closest approximation you can come to that is what you do call the feeling or experience of unconditional love. That's just how you translate it.
Yes.
So in a sense, yes, you could say that's what quote unquote holds everything together. But in reality, everything is simply made out of that. Do you understand?
Yes.
That's what everything is made out of. That frequency, that vibrational consciousness is what everything is made of. That self-awareness is what everything is made out of.
Yes.
So it automatically holds together because it simply is one thing. It may express itself as a multitude of things, but the fact that it is one thing, quote unquote, is what holds it together. Does that make sense?
It does. Thank
All
you.
right.
I wanted to ask about dreams.
Yes.
I have several incredibly vivid dreams that are always in the same templates or the same locations.
All right. This can be representative of many different kinds of things, but continue.
Well, I was just wondering if you could help with some guidance or some clarity as to
Well, sometimes
why
it
that
can be
happens.
memories of visiting the idea of parallel reality selves. Sometimes it can be other things. It depends on how, quote unquote, literal or symbolic they may be.
So when we are dreaming and we wake up and we remember them, should we always interpret them symbolically?
You don't have to, but you can if it's fun for you. Sometimes you can gain insight to yourself by doing so. Sometimes you can gain insight to things that you might be doing when you are no longer focused in physical reality. But remember that your physical mind only has so many symbols to work with. And it can't always make sense out of things that you may be doing on another dimensional level, but it will use the best symbols that it can, which is sometimes why the dream seems to make no sense at all.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
And sometimes dreams can simply be you reassessing your day and reinventing your template and your blueprint for what you wish to experience next. And sometimes it can actually be some sort of symbolic memory of a real experience you had in another dimensional realm. And many things in between. You have to take them one by one and understand what they are.
Okay.
Is this of any help to you?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And?
I'm looking forward to dreaming more. I had 2 other questions for you.
You understand you're dreaming right now, yes?
Yes. Yes. In fact,
Yes.
I'm constantly looking at my reality and saying to myself that this is not real.
Well,
Or
it's
that
real
it's-
as an experience, but it's not real as a solid reality. It's a projection of your consciousness. And paradoxically, since we're talking about the idea of dreaming, By going to sleep physically is actually when you wake up into more of yourself. And when you wake up physically, that's actually when you're going to sleep. Because you're narrowing your focus of your total self down to a physical reality dream. But when you go to sleep, you expand your focus and very often expand beyond the borders of the physical experience and thus become more of yourself. Make sense?
That does
so
make sense.
Learning to become lucid in the physical dream is what this transformational age is all about. And sometimes it can help you become lucid in the physical dream by learning to become lucid in your dream state, and vice versa.
I see.
Does this help?
It does help.
All right.
My last question has to do with an experience in my childhood.
Yes.
I really feel
If, in fact, that was your childhood.
it was my childhood, yes.
But
I have
we'll go with
changed.
that for the moment, for the sake of continuity.
I had an experience when I was about 6, and it felt like it really changed the whole theme of my existence here in this lifetime.
From what to what?
I'm not even quite sure. I just feel that a lot of my belief systems all stem to that one experience.
All right. And
come
so,
from that.
what have you done with that?
I have.
Are you following your excitement?
I am, to the best of my ability. I feel, though, that
Yes.
I have to bring it always back to that present moment of
Yes.
being
Well, that's
in the
part of
present
the
moment.
process, learning to live in the moment.
Yes.
Learning that there is nothing more valuable than what's going on right now. That's where everything you need is contained. And the
Yes.
more you live in the moment, the faster another now moment can manifest. The more you attempt to live outside the moment, the longer it takes for another now moment to manifest. That's the paradox. You have to live in the moment and use it up for something else to happen. That's how you accelerate things. But when you look to accelerate things by looking to the future, you're no longer living in the moment and you actually paradoxically slow things down.
Okay. Yeah, I needed that.
All right.
I needed that piece. Thank you.
Yes.
What I was going to say too is with the belief systems, when I encounter, I feel like I'm like in a tennis game where I'm being, with the balls are constantly coming. The balls
Yes.
are my belief systems, and I kind of get overwhelmed. Where it's like,
That's all right. You can
do
take
I
a
have
break.
to investigate all of my
You
belief
can
systems?
take a break. What's your rush? What's your hurry? You're an infinite, eternal, indestructible being. What's your hurry? Where are you going?
Yeah.
You become overwhelmed because you think you have to deal with all of it right away or something wrong will happen. Relax. There is no time like the present. Relax. And you will actually accelerate. That's what we just told you. The paradox is the more you take time to slow down and relax, the faster things will go. The more you try to speed up, the slower and longer things take. Because you're not living in the present. You're not matching the frequency of your now.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes, I really appreciate.
Go with the flow. Don't swim upstream. That's resistance. Just go with the flow. The current knows where to take you. Trust the speed of the current. Now, sometimes you can accelerate things by divesting yourself of beliefs that no longer work for you. That's fine. That's part of the process. But go with the flow.
Excellent.
Remember that if you're truly, truly living in the moment and you understand that everything that's happening right now is the most important thing that could possibly be happening and it deserves your attention and respect,
Yes.
then you will never, ever, ever be impatient. Because if you're really living in the moment, you're having as much fun as you possibly can, you're as engaged and involved as you possibly can be, and therefore you don't need patience. And if you don't need patience, you're never impatient.
Yes.
Do you understand?
I do.
Does this help?
It immensely. Thank you so much, Bashar. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Hi.
And to you, good day.
Yay! So my first question is about coffee.
Coffee.
Yes, the drink.
All right. What about it?
I know from a vibrational standpoint it's not good for me.
All right, then that's you.
But I find that when I raise my frequency to incredibly high transformational rate,
Yes.
I have issues with insomnia.
So what? Who says you should be asleep at that moment?
I
Many people on your planet do not follow their natural biological awake-sleep cycle. They force themselves to be awake when they need to be asleep. They force themselves to be asleep when they need to be awake. Find your natural cycle. That's all you need to do. Then it will not be insomnia. If it's natural for you to be awake at the wee hours of the morning or whenever, then that might be your natural cycle when you're at your highest peak of creativity. Then when you find yourself actually going down in your vibratory biological cycle and need to sleep, sleep. You have to get over the idea that your society tells you when you should be awake and you should be asleep to find your natural cycle. You follow me?
Yes.
Is this helping?
Yes.
Yes. Most of you are not living your natural biological cycles.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
So my second question is about moldavite crystals. Can you
Yes.
expand on those a little
Permission
more?
slips, like anything. If you're attracted to it, then that means there's something about that particular permission slip that aligns with your belief system in such a way that it allows you to give yourself permission to be more of who you are by using that particular reflection or object. If you're attracted to it, use it. If you're not, don't.
Simple enough.
All things, all objects, all rituals, all techniques, all tools are permission slips. Use them if you're attracted to them. Don't use them if you're not. That's all they're there for. To reflect to you an alignment in your belief system wherein you are willing to say, I'm willing to change my beliefs and allow something to happen I didn't believe was possible by using this thing. But you're the one doing it anyway. You're the ultimate permission slip. But you can use those reflections as helpers to put you in touch with what you believe is true. So if that's what attracts you, by all means.
Cool.
Yes?
Yes. So one more question. I wanted to ask about a relationship,
Yes.
a soulmate of mine, that I have a tendency to go through.
You have a what?
I have a tendency.
You have a what?
I go through.
You choose?
I choose to go through many
Thank you.
times.
Tendencies mean, I can't help it. No responsibility there.
Right.
No way to change anything.
Right.
I choose.
I choose.
Now, if you're choosing something you don't prefer, now you have something to work with, because the first question would be, what would I have to believe is true in order to keep choosing something I don't prefer? Where if you say, well, I have a tendency, that gives you nothing to work with. No insight into yourself at all.
It's about taking ownership.
Yes. Response ability. The ability to respond.
Oh, that's good.
So what is the thing that you choose?
So the thing that I choose
Yes.
is that, going almost back to the coffee question, I ramp up my energy to such a degree that this counterpart to the relationship comes in,
Yes.
and it has a tendency.
It has a what?
It,
We are selectively deaf to concepts that don't work for us.
I choose this relationship to drag me down.
Why?
That's a good question.
Do you have a good answer?
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. You're just not paying attention to it.
Yes.
Remember what we talked about when we talk about the motivational mechanism within all of you? This is an absolute given. You all, always, and I mean there are no exceptions, always move in the direction, choose in the direction of what you believe is in your best interest. You always move away from what you believe is not in your best interest. Therefore, if you know that, and you know that's how the mechanism works, if you then are choosing something that you know is not in your best interest, the only way you would do so is you have a definition of that thing that makes it seem to be in your best interest more than the other choice. You need to find the belief that says that that thing you don't prefer is a better choice than the thing that would actually serve you better. Find that belief and let it go. And then the motivational mechanism will flip around the other way, and you will only choose the things that are actually to your benefit instead of attaching beliefs to the things that are not to your benefit that make it seem to be to your benefit.
Yes.
Making some sense? So, in saying that you are choosing to do something in a relationship where you feel dragged down, why do you choose that? What beliefs do you have about yourself that you would attract that experience?
That I don't deserve to be at the energy level that brings that experience in.
Do you really buy that?
I buy the concept that
That you might believe that.
I might believe that.
What do you
correct.
get out of believing that? That you don't deserve that?
I get the approval of the people who are my parents and the people
All right.
who think I'm different.
All right. So, in other words, you're willing to go for approval instead of actually honoring yourself and thus honoring them by being yourself.
Yes.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
You're settling for something that isn't you because you think that that's the right thing to do because you are looking for their approval to determine who you are. Is that what you prefer?
Not when you say it.
This is why it's so important to identify beliefs, because you see what I said earlier, once you actually bring it out into the light and make a statement out of it consciously, it doesn't make much sense, does it?
No.
As soon as it's nonsensical, it's gone. Unless you have another belief that says you need to hold on to it, and then you need to find that one too and let that become nonsensical. Because all the things that are out of alignment with your true vibration don't make sense.
Exactly. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, Tadea.
Nani?
We have some questions from our Ustream listeners.
Oh, all right.
The first one is having to do with our core frequency and the idea of, does a core frequency only pertain to our physical life or all aspects?
There are core frequencies all the way up the spectrum, but the one that we are obviously discussing most is the one that you experience as your signature frequency as a person in physical reality, because that's the one that needs the attention in order to be changed.
So you're actually changing your core frequency?
You are changing the physical core frequency to be a closer match to the total core frequency, to be more aligned with the total core frequency.
And the determination of your physical core frequency has
Is whether
to do
you're
your
holding
belief
on
systems.
with your beliefs, yes, negative and positive.
But you know how you always say that your core frequency is always attracting everything that you need, and
The true core frequency, yes, but you can surround it with secondary frequencies that may still represent your personality and your overall signature vibration as a person that may be muddying the true alignment with the core frequency.
I think that's interesting about the personality versus the actual core frequency of the
Yes,
person.
but look at it as the idea of nested dolls, yes? You have a particular frequency, but you can wrap it like an onion with many different layers, and you can kind of filter it in a variety of ways. So the idea is to allow all those different things to be as clear, as transparent as they can, so the true core frequency shines through on all levels.
Okay, and let's see, they said, what if we have a low core frequency? Can we change it? You just answered that.
Yes.
And how can we experience the highest joy with a low core frequency?
Start small. Do something that contains even just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit more excitement than anything else. Do it to the best of your ability. Do it with no insistence on an outcome, and then do it again. And then do it again, and then do it again until it grows and becomes bigger and bigger and bigger steps, bigger and bigger and bigger opportunities that will allow your excitement to expand. But you will always be capable of doing something if you are willing to.
And is it really necessary on a daily basis to sort of monitor your state of being and determine if you're in a negative state and change it? And
No.
Just
It's not always necessary, but you may find that from time to time it will be valuable to do so.
But I mean, like for people who want contact and they want their frequency to be up over 200,000 cycles per second.
Act on your
and-
highest excitement to the best of your ability with no insistence on the outcome. That's the formula. It's not going to change.
But the formula is going to bring up all the beliefs that you have.
Exactly, which gives you an opportunity to let them go and add their energy to the excitement, which expands your vibration and raises it higher and higher and higher until you pass the 200,000 cycle per second frequency.
Right. So if you're going through your day and you
Yes.
notice that you get upset about something
Yes.
or all that, then that's an opportunity to practice
Yes.
shifting your frequency to a higher level
Yes.
so that it becomes second nature,
First nature.
first nature.
Right now, it is second nature, sometimes even third nature. So make it first nature.
It just seems like a good practice.
It is.
That would then allow you to experience more and more expanded joy in the 3 AAA formula.
Acknowledge, appreciate, and allow.
Right. And when we were talking about that recently, we talked about the idea that when you acknowledge what's happening
Yes.
and then
Acknowledge what you have instead of what you don't have. That's the phrase.
Okay.
Acknowledge what you have instead of what you don't have. Appreciate what you have once you've acknowledged it. Again, the appreciation of a moment and an experience that you're having doesn't necessarily mean that just because you appreciate it for being there, that you have to condone something you don't prefer that may have happened.
right, because circumstances don't matter, only state
Exactly.
of being matters.
That's
So-
why you go into appreciation as a state, regardless of the circumstances. And it doesn't mean that you're condoning the circumstances.
So if something challenging happens
Yes.
that causes you that you make a choice to lower your frequency
Yes.
around it,
Yes.
the antidote to that is to
Acknowledge what you do have instead of what you don't have. Appreciate, which means create that state of appreciation for what you do have, and then allow the next thing that needs to happen, and continue to do that if you need to continue to do that.
and then don't give energy to the circumstances.
No,
kind of
because
what
the
you're saying.
circumstances is just a neutral set of props. It may still be representative of something you don't prefer, but that doesn't mean it has to affect you in any negative way. Therefore, if you simply go into a state of appreciation, you can still neutrally observe that it is a situation you don't prefer, but you won't be negatively affected by it.
It really is a relearning of how to interact with physical reality.
That's what we've been talking about for 33 years of your time. It's a relearning of how physical reality works. It's an understanding of the nature and structure of existence, and so you can use it effectively as a tool because it works the same for everyone all the time. It's only an issue of whether you use it in a way that you prefer or use it in a way that you don't. It doesn't care. It's up to you.
Well, it's nice to know there's an alternative way of experiencing this reality, certainly.
There always is.
Yes.
There always is.
In all ways, right?
Yes.
Okay, and here's another question. You said that everything is synchronicity,
Yes.
but often we don't recognize it as such.
Yes.
Do we attract negative synchronicity based on our thoughts and beliefs? And is giving negative things a positive meaning a method of attracting more positive synchronicity?
Yes. Again, you don't have to say this negative thing is a positive thing. We're saying you can recognize something that you don't prefer.
To the same consciousness that is a part of our own oversoul and our higher mind. That is, I describe it like the tentacles of us.
Yes.
Do we ever meet those same tentacles in our present life right here, right now? For example, through friends, family?
Yes, it's what we refer to as a counterpart.
Right.
When they overlap your lifespan.
So what happens when we meet those kind of counterparts? I mean,
Anything, everything, and nothing. It depends on the themes you're exploring.
Okay.
Sometimes you may not know them at all, even though you may pass each other on the street.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they will be your best friend, sometimes they will be your lover, sometimes they will be your worst enemy. It depends.
And exactly, and for the exchange of growth and expansion for both parties in which we
Yes.
agreed on. Very nice. One more thing just on the ET Pharaoh. I know that we had a son, hybrid. Just want to know if that consciousness is, if I'm connected to that consciousness here in this present reality, or?
No,
Okay,
this is something quite different.
okay,
And we will talk about that subject another time.
okay.
It is not yet time for the revelation of those particular hybrids.
Okay, very good. I had a dream many months ago, almost as if I would describe I was in space and there was no sound. And there was about 5 beings silent in front of me, and they were very glowy, light kind of beings, and their outer aura was purple. I'd just like to know who they were, or I saw them, I felt like I smiled back at them. I didn't want to be afraid, and I
Yes.
wanted them to know that I did receive their energy, and I just wanted to know where they came from or if I needed any extra.
They're your support group. Let's leave it at that for the moment.
Okay. Am I asking too many questions that I'm
No,
not supposed to know right now?
It's not that. It's just that there are certain processes you're going through that would be better served if you actually continued to go through them.
Absolutely.
At the moment, you can be aware of these things and we can give you what we're allowed to give you, and we're happy to do so. Nevertheless, we are also being asked not to give you too much yet because they have some things in store that you need to be aware of in your own timing.
Very nice.
But you can focus on the violet vibration and remember how that felt, and thus put yourself in the same state of being and see what happens if you do that in an intentional way.
Okay. Very nice. Is this the same thing? Same thing happened when I would describe as the goddess Bast, who's a cat. She kind of just like jumped into my dream one day in the same kind of energy.
Yes, well, again,
vibe.
because of the cross connections you are making to the idea of ancient Egypt and the priesthood and all of that, and you're dealing with archetypal consciousness level energies, there are many things going on here that tell a tale of another story in another dimension
Yes.
that require much too much time to go into now in detail. But you're beginning to get snatches and tidbits and snippets of these things that will eventually all grow together to form one linear story for you. So you're seeing bits and pieces at the moment.
Very nice. So then the path. So then I'm flowing with my path, if you will, and meeting these extra stories and counterparts.
Yes.
That are adding to the experience, the
Yes.
expansion. One more question. I am an acting coach and I teach actors.
All right.
And I like to infuse a lot of my acting with actual, some of the metaphysical properties,
Yes.
principles that we
Yes,
teach.
yes.
And in my mind, I like to kind of tailor the child to know about their human avatar mechanism and really know about their senses and observation and awareness, because
Yes, all right.
I'm feeling that is part of, is that a good way to help in their development?
Is it your way? Does it
Yes.
excite you?
Yes.
Then it's a good way
Do you have any more?
because it works for you.
Good.
You do understand that at its height, when an individual can truly allow themselves to transform into another personality, yes,
Yes.
what you call acting,
Or shape-shifting, as you said earlier.
in a sense, is a form that we might refer to as multiple personality order.
Yes. Yes.
Because there is connective tissue between them in a way that can allow for smooth communication rather than the disorder. Do you
Yes.
understand? So it's a form of channeling, of course. And every one of you contain multitudes of personalities and are connected to multitudes of personalities, and you can shapeshift into them. And that's what acting is. Yes?
Yes.
You become that person, literally, but retain a connection to the idea of an overall identity
Yes.
that contains all of those personality expressions. This is multiple personality order.
Yes.
And so,
I just wanted to maybe if there was like a clarification or an add-in to.
I just gave you one. Multiple personality order. Maybe you don't understand what we're saying by that.
Could you please clarify or go a little bit deeper into it?
But what do you think it means?
Multiple personality order, that we have the ability to use these multiple personalities to get through whichever energy we need to inhibit for whatever expansion or situation, circumstance pertaining to that moment in our reality for the sake of our growth.
Well, you talk about the idea of acting, but you know that the best acting comes from when the situation and circumstance that's been created is treated as if it's real.
Yes.
Then it is real.
Yes.
You are actually seeing a glimpse of parallel realities, parallel versions of those persons.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes, I do.
So you can use the idea that you're tapping into a multitude of parallel realities to describe the concept of acting.
Yes.
So that's another way to view it, if that is something that is of interest to you. Doesn't have to be, but we have given you the suggestion that you have asked for, and you may not completely wrap your mind around it yet, but let it sink in and see what it does for you in your dreams. You may come up with something that works and is connected to the concept of understanding how to present the concept of parallel reality versions of people that then can allow them to tap into them in a way where when they bring them through, they will understand that without losing the sense of their own identity, they really will be that identity. And that you're actually seeing multiple worlds on the stage simultaneously.
Yes. And so by bringing out these multidimensional personalities within ourselves, this, of course, adds to our I guess I'll use the word upgraded, evolved next stage.
Yes, but let me express this more precisely and take it a step further for you, because you're still assuming that what we're talking about are multiple personalities within you.
Okay.
We're saying that when someone really becomes that person, you are actually being given an opportunity to literally see a parallel reality made flesh.
Okay. Yes.
Do you follow me?
Yes, I do.
The stage suddenly becomes a portal upon which multiple parallel realities can actually be presented to your reality.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes.
Literally. The people on the stage are not the same people who are then walking off the stage to go home. You are literally looking at a parallel reality. Literally.
Yes.
Do you understand?
I do understand.
That is the power of acting.
Yes.
Does this help?
Yes, it does.
Feels exciting, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay. Thank you very much, Bashar.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
This is why your stories are so powerful. You are really tapping into alternate realities and exploring them for yourselves to decide whether or not they present something you prefer to shift to.
It is a pleasure to share this time and space with you, Bashar.
And you as well. Good day.
Thank you. So, I understand that my outer reality is a direct reflection of my inner reality. Is that correct?
It is, but what you see on the outside doesn't necessarily mean that it's an absolute one-to-one reflection of things or issues that you have to necessarily pay attention to the same degree that someone else might, who might be sharing a similar reality with you. In other words, it's an orchestration, and sometimes when you interact with things, situations, circumstances, people, objects, what have you, there may be an orchestrational reason for you to be there, but that doesn't necessarily mean that what someone else is experiencing is exactly what you need to work on. Okay. You may just be there for them to support them in their ability to work on it too. But you have to have an honest self-assessment as to what it is that's actually there for you. Nevertheless, it's still a reflection because you're willing to be part of that orchestration. So it reveals that to you, if nothing else.
So my reflection and reality, if it will, has been telling me some different things lately that I would like some clarification
All right,
with.
such as?
The globe being round or flat.
Yes, well, you know the globe is round.
Okay.
Why would you assume that it's flat?
I assume that it's flat because of the eye test. I don't feel like we're spinning. I don't.
So what?
It made more sense for it to be flat in my
Not
estimation.
really. Not when you understand how things work, it doesn't.
Okay.
So the flatness idea comes from and is real on another dimensional level,
Right.
the holographic level that projects information that needs no dimension into the idea of realities that then are expressed dimensionally.
Okay.
So in that context, the Earth is both flat and a globe. But in your physical dimension, it's experienced as a globe.
Thank you.
It's another dimension that experiences it at flat. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes, it does. So in this lifetime, do I go from one to another?
Well,
from
you
the flat
exist
to the
in
globe?
all of them.
Okay.
Versions of you exist in all of them.
Right.
So you may be cross-connecting to that, and that's why you're wondering whether it's flat or round.
Right.
But in this third density reality, it's expressed as a globe. But you also are aware of the fact that in another dimension, it's expressed as flat information.
Okay. So another thing that has been in my reality lately is the cloning centers have been popping up, and I've been finding out more information on that. Is that a true statement? The Donald Marshall has been coming out with the cloning centers?
Not as much as you think.
Okay.
There are some experiments on your planet with regard to this process, but not as much as you think, and not always in the way that many people assume it to be being used.
Okay. So the information coming through Donald Marshall isn't necessarily correct.
It's an interpretation that is correct for one particular reality, and you have to decide whether that's the reality you prefer or whether you prefer another.
Okay.
Remember,
I kind of prefer not.
all things you can imagine are somewhere happening.
Right.
You cannot imagine non-existence.
Right.
Therefore, it's just an issue of, is that the reality you prefer when it's being offered to you?
Right.
If not,
If
then
that's my
go in a
attitude.
different direction.
Okay. I found myself saying the other day that I had hybrid children, and I didn't even know where that came from coming out of my mouth. Could you
Probably
please
came from one of the hybrid children.
Could you elaborate on that for me, please?
Well, you understand the hybridization agenda, yes?
No, very little.
All right. Well, you understand that beings that you typically refer to on average as the gray beings, you're familiar with this?
Yes.
Conducted a hybridization program because they were really originally humans from a parallel version of Earth that destroyed their world and mutated themselves into the beings you understand as the grays.
Right.
Not being able to any longer reproduce, they realized that the only way to save their civilization was to find a viable source of human DNA, and that means they had to tunnel into parallel realities, such as yours, where humans still exist in their original form, thus taking genetic material, blending it with their own and a few other things, and creating the hybrids of which my civilization is one offshoot. And there are other children still existing in a variety of ways that are more contemporary with your civilization that will ultimately come and live among you. Thus, beginning the transformation of your world into what we typically refer to as the sixth hybrid race, because there are already 5 others.
So in our ascension, we all have different timelines for this, or were we all going together?
The ones that decide to be of a similar vibration will experience themselves going together. The ones that have different timelines will not.
Okay, it's that easy.
It's that easy.
All right, and since all our realities are just reflections, can our inner world affect changes like the election and like the upcoming changes?
Again, yes, but it's not that you're changing the world you're in.
Right.
It's that you're shifting to a world that already has those expressions as a reflection of the change in energy you've made within yourself. But remember, you have also made agreements to share some of this and go through certain processes with other people in order to learn things, in order to grow from it. And one of the things you learn is more readily how to shift to realities that are already in existence that are more reflective of what you prefer, by being in a reality that is reflective of what you don't prefer.
Makes sense.
It does. That's why I said it.
So when I am following my highest excitement, sometimes I fight the feeling of I'm not working hard enough, I'm being lazy, and then I have to balance that out.
Again, remember that it's all about letting go of beliefs that are out of alignment with that vibration.
Right.
But one of the things excitement does is bring those things up to your attention that you may be holding on to that you didn't know about. So if you are acting on your excitement and suddenly you find that there is a negative feeling, a negative experience, a negative belief within you, then excitement is doing its job by revealing that to you so you can let it go and add the energy to your excitement. So in other words, whenever your excitement brings up something within you that you don't prefer, get excited about the fact that it did that.
Okay.
That's part of the excitement process. Because then once you're consciously aware of it, you have something to work with. You have something to let go of. Okay. If it remains unknown, then you can't do anything about it.
Right.
So that's part of the process.
And
So
how do
be
I lay
excited
that
about
down?
it. Lay it down.
Yes. How do I lay that down? That feeling. That
When
negative
you allow
feeling of-
yourself to actually consciously identify the belief that's out of alignment with you,
Yes.
the moment you truly access it and truly consciously identify it, it will automatically and immediately appear nonsensical and illogical. And as soon as it does, it's gone.
Okay.
That's the end of the process.
Right.
Because if you really actually see it as nonsensical and illogical, there is no reason to hold on to it. If you are still holding on to it in your behavior, then there's another belief you haven't found that says you must. Find that one. Keep digging.
Understand.
Does that help?
Yes, sir.
Oh, sir. Oh, so formal. All right.
I was led to get some numbers on my arm that I was told would help me to remember my own frequency. Can you please expound on that?
What numbers are you talking about?
I have a tattoo that says 92.78 on my arm.
92.78.
Yes, sir. And I have no idea where that came from.
One moment.
Thank you.
All right. You understand that your quote-unquote average normal temperature of your human body, 98.6, yes?
Yes, sir.
You don't have to keep calling me sir, but I appreciate
Yes,
it.
Bashar.
When you are shifted, you remember when we talked about the idea that there is a version of physical reality that's slightly out of phase with yours,
Okay.
and in which many encounters actually happen?
Yes.
Because they can't really happen in your reality because of the vibrational difference, but they can happen in that reality. That's your body temperature in that reality. Because that is the difference of the shift.
I understand.
So, does that help you?
That does help. Why was I led to get that?
Because
Reminded
it
of that.
reminds you of how to tap into the idea of that reality. And thus, it makes the shift easier.
Okay.
You
Very-
have, in other words, a target to shoot for.